In another video, we cover how to create the workflow templates. In this video, we'll dive a little bit deeper and see how we can fine-tune our templates using additional settings. These settings define workflow outcome, completion rules for parallel steps, and on rejection, initiator options and also transmittal settings. We've mentioned there are two options to define workflow outcome. Let's find out in what scenarios it would make sense to use one or the other. Lowest of all step outcomes would assign the lowest outcome as the final outcome regardless of the order and number of steps in the workflow. So if just one of the reviewers were to select revise and resubmit, then that becomes the final outcome for the workflow. And that outcome can be set by any reviewer at any point in the workflow. You might use this option where all steps are equally counted and there's no need to have one particular reviewer that has the final say. The lowest outcome is the one in the review status labels list whose colour is closest to red. In this case, having a document approved at one step but approved with comments at another step would result in the approved with comments outcome being applied. The final step outcome option would allow the outcome to be determined by the final reviewer or lead reviewer. It's really important to note that the final reviewer would not always be the one assigned at the last step. In fact, the lead reviewer might be at any step where certain completion rules are applied, and we're going to have a look at those next. Let's start with completion rules for parallel steps. There are three options. All steps completed means that all reviewers are required to complete the task, otherwise the process or workflow won't move forward. Any steps completed would trigger further actions as soon as one of the steps assignees completes the review. So this automatically closes out that step for others. The third option, all steps unless rejected, requires all the parallel steps to be completed. However, as soon as one of the reviewers rejects the document workflow, it would immediately get completed or move forward. Use the on rejection list to decide what happens in the workflow if a step is rejected. It can either continue on to the next step or get sent back to the initiator. It's important to mention that even though we refer to rejection, the triggering review status label is the one that is the most negative in the review set or closest to red. In this example, revise and resubmit will become the trigger. You can also change the individual steps completion rules in the process template itself. Now let's see what options you might enable for a workflow initiator so they can make changes before a workflow starts and while it's in progress. You can give them the option to change how long steps take, change who's involved in the step, or even skip steps in the workflow. And these initiator options are really useful for your internal processes where you might need the workflow to be more flexible, but you might not want to allow these options to be changed for external workflow initiators. It's recommended to define the default reason for issuing the transmittal settings, and the workflow initiator can change this if necessary. At workflow completion, all its participants, including the initiator, will receive a final workflow transmittal with the final outcome. You can add other people to be included on this final notification by adding their names in the final transmittal field. Making good use of all these options will help enhance your review processes and overall project performance. There are a number of tools available for workflow reviewers to mark up and comment on documents. Here we'll give you an overview of those options and their pros and cons. Generally, we distinguish between online and offline markups, those that have been created in Aconex and those created outside of Aconex. Online markup tools are available in the online viewer within a workflow. It provides a standard set of PDF annotation and markup tools. All the markups are shown in the Notes panel. Each reviewer can see the full thread and details for who created each markup and when. Anyone can comment under the existing markups, but they cannot delete them. This is to make sure a complete thread of comments is retained. However, if you choose the final step outcome option in the workflow, the final reviewer can delete or edit others' comments. For example, they may not agree with the comments or consider them irrelevant. This helps to filter some comments out so that the workflow initiator receives back only those comments that require an action from their side. But don't worry though, comments are only from the final transmitted version, but they're still available and visible in the workflow review and part of the audit trail. You might wonder what happens with comments added in parallel steps. Consolidation is a handy feature that allows you to merge all the comments made during parallel steps of a review process. The markups are delivered as a zip file to the reviewer of the next step. Clicking on the Consolidate Markups button will generate a PDF with all the markups added by the reviewers. Note that the Consolidate option is available on the step immediately after any parallel review. To give the consolidation feature the best chance of being successful, we recommend that all reviewers use the online viewer to do their markups. That way your team avoids having to manually consolidate the comments and instead lets the system do it for them automatically. Online markups are convenient as they provide a markup summary, and we can download these from the document register. We hover over the row for the document until you see the 3 dots appear, and then we select Download with Markup Summary. The document provides a summary sheet listing details of all the review comments made, and each markup is assigned a reference number. On the last page you can find a summary. Against each markup reference there will be some details, the comment itself, who created it and when. However, there may be times when reviewers need to review documents offline. This means downloading the file, marking it up in another tool outside of Aconex, and submitting the file back into the workflow. A good example is where native CAD files need to be reviewed. We find the file we want to replace in the workflow and click its upload icon. You can attach the file either from your local computer or the temporary files area. This substitutes the initial file with the newly reviewed file, and the next reviewer will receive this new commented file. Another option for offline comments is to use the supplementary files. We recommend using it to attach reference documents if required. However, some teams prefer to maintain their comments in a spreadsheet, and this is an option to manage this method. But the content is not consolidated from one step to another automatically like it does with online markups. It is worth noting that text comments against each document can be added within Aconex. And this might be a good substitute for a comments sheet, as you can create reports directly from the workflow register. And these comments are also then included in the markup summary as well. Let's finish by summarising the pros and cons of online versus offline markups. The online method doesn't require you to download the files, and the process can be managed entirely within Aconex. It's easier to track who added what and also easy to consolidate. It also provides a markup summary which is created automatically. Online comments can only be made on PDF files. If you need to mark up other document formats, this is when you would consider using offline comments. The offline method requires you to download the file and upload it back into Aconex. Offline comments might be created inconsistently, and that might make it time-consuming to consolidate them all. Lastly, offline comments are not available through reporting. Hopefully, you now understand the 2 methods of managing review comments, and you can decide which would best fit your project requirements. If you're a project admin, you can also disable one option or the other for reviewers in the project settings. We recommend using the online method as it will help make your project review practices consistent and efficient.